All right, number 10. We're getting back into another series that we talked about previously, and this one is Resident Evil 2. I definitely enjoyed this game more than both 1 and 8, which might sound weird to people since 8 came out, more recently. It's newer, and, 2 doesn't have Lady Dimitrescu in it, so how could you put that higher? But I felt like it took fun mechanics and aspects of the first game and then just improved upon it. I really liked Leon, Leon's side. I still need to play Claire's side, which we're gonna do. The graphics for this game are so gorgeous for a PlayStation 1 game. I couldn't believe when I popped that in. I was like, this is just miles of improvement compared to the first one, which, graphics aren't everything, but it definitely adds on to a game. I really enjoyed traveling and traversing around the police station. There are just so many fun puzzles and things to collect in that game, and it was definitely challenging at times, but I didn't find it as, frustrating as Chris's version of the game in the first game. But maybe that's because I was more used to the style of the gameplay since I played the first one previously. Number 9. I'm actually surprised with myself that I didn't put this one higher, but I played so many good games this year, I just couldn't put this one higher. I also had some technical difficulties while playing this game, and that game is Skyward Sword HD. I did really, really enjoy this game. I still don't understand why people don't like this Zelda game. For me, I think the story is great. I really like the gameplay. I think Link and Zelda's relationship in this game is definitely one of the best. I love Groose. I think this game has some of the best dungeons in the entire series. It also has some of the best bosses, in my opinion. Oh, and music. It's first fully orchestrated Zelda game, and boy, is it gorgeous. So, yeah, I definitely think that this game deserves its spot at number 9. All right, number 8. I really, really liked this game. I liked the boss battles in this game. I liked the story. It really gave a lot of insight as to what the questions that you had in the previous games. And the game I'm talking about is Metal Gear Solid 4. I loved the characters in this game. I felt like it really tied up loose ends and questions that you had with the first and second game, but there still are some remaining questions that hopefully will be answered in either Peace Walker, Ground Zero, or Phantom Pain, and we'll see, what ends up happening with that. It just improved upon the controls a lot since, I played Metal Gear Solid 3 and it was still the kind of like crappy camera, whereas this is just a free roaming camera. The camouflage is so cool in this game. I love the whole build up to the ending, because even like when you still had another like full chapter to go, it felt like it was almost there at the end, and it just kept building and building, and then you have that awesome epic battle at the end. I think it's just a very good Metal Gear Solid game. Number 7. So this game definitely could be up higher. I have Tomb Raider 2013. This was like everything I wanted Uncharted to be, and I still enjoy the Uncharted games, but to me, I never had quite the spark of fun and enjoyment that I did with Tomb Raider 2013. I love Lara in this game. I love how it's an origin story, and I mean, just zipping around this island, like, I feel so badass, and like when she jumps from a huge height and then like does the zip lining thing down, I love it. I thought the story was pretty good. There were definitely some parts I was like, I enjoyed this game more than Rise of the Tomb Raider, but they are very kind of different games. They follow the same formula in a sense, but I liked, I guess, the island location more. I liked the group that you were with. I just really, really enjoyed this game, and I was having so much fun with the fact that I was enjoying it so much. So yeah, this definitely deserves to be here, if not higher up on the list. Number 6 is a game that I have already played, and I replayed it for a Saturday live stream. It's a very short game, and it's a game that still is on my favorite games of all time list. Journey. Love this game. I mean, it's just, It's such a great experience playing this game. Every single time I play it, I don't get sick of it. The music, the atmosphere, the art style, it's just so gorgeous. It really is a great game to play if you're stressed out or just need to play like a quick game that you can just kind of turn your brain off to and just enjoy. Top 5. All right. The top 5 are just like my favorite games that I played this year. I think I'm set in stone with, you know, this top 5. Maybe a few of them could kind of switch around depending on my mood. But number 5 is Little Nightmares 2. I just thought that they took the first game and just improved on it so much more. I really enjoyed the different sections of the game. It was just as creepy as the first game, but honestly plus extra. I mean, that whole section when you go to the mannequins on the left side of the building, like, it's just so freaky. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a companion that you meet up with who happens to be, it's just like a really cool thing. I loved that part. I loved the ending. It just does a big like flip at the end, and it's really, really cool. If they make a Little Nightmares 3, I'm definitely gonna pick it up and play it on the channel. Number 4 is my favorite Resident Evil game that I got to play this year. I live streamed this one, and it was so much fun that the first day that I played it for over 6 hours. And I'm talking about Resident Evil 7. I loved how it took a lot of inspiration from the original Resident Evil with, you know, like retrieving the shotgun in the same way, and, you know, the different doors and how, you know, you gotta get a specific key to open specific doors, and a lot of ties back to the original Resident Evil, which I really appreciated. I thought the boss battles were really fun, especially since it's this family the whole time. It's not just these random enemies that you fight. You literally get trapped inside, and the woman you love is being corrupted, and you have to save her, but also try to escape this crazy family in this really fucked up house. And I loved it, and exploring more parts of the house, but then you go to the ship at some point, and it was just oodles of fun. Number 3. It's one of the more recent games that I finished, I guess, and absolutely loved this game, which I figured I would because I'd heard so many good things about it. But it was like my childhood just exploded in this game and just gave me everything I wanted, and I'm talking about the Marvel's Spider-Man game for PS4. Oh, so great. I love the story. I loved swinging around the city, and the fact that it's so accurate to New York City is just so cool. And then they added, of course, the Avengers Tower in the middle. I like that it's not a Spider-Man origin story. You're just starting off as older Peter Parker. He's already gone through his shit with MJ, and I love the transition with Miles. Oh, that was so cool. And I liked how it switched from Peter to Miles to MJ and then back, and it really did that. I thought the ending was really, really good, and the twist with the villain was really great. It still makes me upset because I'm so pissed off at him, but that was great. I loved this game. One of the best games I played this year, easily. All right, my number 2. My number 2 I actually thought was going to be my number 1 for a while. It is a game that I actually started the previous year, and then it bled into, you know, the beginning of 2021, and I'm talking about Ghost of Tsushima. I love this game so much that I bought the soundtrack for this game. I just recently introduced it to Power Player Paul and his fiance, so like, you have to play this game. I had Boyfriend play the opening, and I'll say again what I said in my like favorite games ranking list. I only wanted to play this game originally just in spite of The Last of Us 2 winning Game of the Year. Like, the Game Awards happened, and then I instantly picked up Ghost of Tsushima, and I was like, well, you know, I thought this game was supposed to win, but I didn't play it, so let me play it so I can say, yeah, you know, The Last of Us 2 is still garbage. And then the game was so good that I kind of forgot about the whole, like, originally purchased it just to shit more on The Last of Us 2. But this game definitely deserved Game of the Year for 2020, easily. At least over The Last of Us 2. The story is so good. I didn't realize that this game is going to be an open world game, so that was just the cherry on top with this. The game mechanics are so much fun. I love how you use every single button of the PS4 controller, but then you also run out of buttons, so you have to use combinations of buttons. There's so many different weapons and different stances that you get with your katana that's just really neat. I love the characters. I really enjoyed the side stories. Maybe not all of them, but a majority of them. I thought the villain was great. And I loved how you watch your character change throughout the course of the game. And especially the ending it's just wonderful. So again, I really thought that this game was going to be number one for me until my number one showed up. So through process of elimination, you can figure out what number one is. And yeah, I love this game this much. Metal Gear Solid 2. Best game I played this year. And I wouldn't say that originally when I finished it, that it was my favorite game that I played that year. This game really grew on me. Just the months like after playing it, I'm just still thinking about it. I still think about this game and watching videos where people kind of dissect the ending of it. But I don't even just love this game for the ending. I mean, the ending, like, is so good to me. It's kind of all over the place in some aspects, but for the parts that are structured, it's so good. But even, like, leading up to that ending, I love the battle with Fat Man. I really like the characters. This game introduced Vamp. Snake is your companion in the game. Like, I know a lot of people shit on the game because you're playing as Raiden and not Snake, but Snake is your companion. Like, you have the Colonel, but then you also have Snake, so it's like, you know, good and evil talking to you through your ears, and you're getting two different perspectives. I really liked how you kind of stay in the same hub, and you get to explore different parts of it. I liked how you even had to go back to the very first part that you started at with Raiden. You had to go back and try to freeze that bomb that was there. Everything about the game was really good. I'd say the only part of it that I didn't like was a certain character's death, which I talked about in that game. But honestly, that's like so minor to me now compared to everything else that goes on in the game. There's a reason why I recently made a video talking about games that have changed my life. And the whole reason why I made that video was specifically to talk about Metal Gear Solid 2. Best game I've played this year. And I don't know where I would rank it on my favorite games list, but it's definitely high up there now. And I see why, when this game originally came out, why so many people didn't like it, because it really is the black sheep of the series. But I wasn't supposed to play this game when it came out. I was supposed to play it 20 years later, because if I played it when it came out, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. The fact that it's so relatable to this day and age, but the game came out 20 years ago, still blows my mind. I really just needed to experience this game this year. So thank you all so much again for just asking me to play the Metal Gear Solid series. It's just been such a blast, and I can't wait to see what happens with the end of Peace Walker, and we're gonna play Ground Zero and Phantom Pain. But yeah, that is my list for the year 2021. And if you disagree with a lot of things, then cool. You're allowed to have your own opinion, as well as how I am allowed to have mine. I'm sorry if I upset you in some way. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. It's my list. Suck a duck, all right? So, just like last year, once I was done with my ranking, then I talked about the games that I'm going to play this upcoming year in 2022. Let's see, what did I say that I was going to play last year? One of the series that I could play is the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Well, we did that. Resident Evil. We did that. Tomb Raider. I want to keep playing Tomb Raider. Just ignore that one. Going along with that, we need to finish Tomb Raider, which what are we? We're on, we just played this, what, a couple days ago? We're on level 13, I think? I think level 13. Hopefully we can finish this game by the end of January, but yeah, we still gotta finish that one. We gotta finish Blasphemous. We need to finish Peace Walker, and I'd like to get back into Sly Cooper at some point. I'd probably want to finish Tomb Raider, Blasphemous, and Peace Walker first before I jump back into Sly Cooper, but yeah, we'll revisit Sly Cooper soon. So, more games that I want to play this year. We have to finish up the Metal Gear Solid series, so once we're done with Peace Walker, I'll eventually be playing at the beginning of this year at some point Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero, as well as Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. So those will be happening, and I'm excited to see how this whole story and series is going to end. And I've heard that Phantom Pain is a very controversial game. Either people really like it or they really hate it. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to have a haul video out tomorrow, and there's going to be some other God of War games that I want to play. I do own God of War Ascension, and I want to play some more of the side God of War games. So that's on my list for this upcoming year. Now, just like this past year, I want to start another big series. I guess the two big series that I started in 2021 was Resident Evil. We played Resident Evil 1, 2, 7, and 8. So we still have to play half of 2, 3. I'll replay 4, 5, and 6. So we still have a lot of Resident Evil games to play, and there's a lot of side games like Code Veronica, Outbreak, a lot of those. So we're not done with Resident Evil, but I want to continue on with that. But a new big series that I want to get into, like Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid, is Kingdom Hearts. I have never played a Kingdom Hearts game. I've played the beginning section on the island, and then I always get to the town part, and then I just always stop. I watched Boyfriend play a little bit into like Tarzan's section, but I'm really blind to these games personally, and I know that these games, kind of like with Metal Gear Solid, have a big following. So to try to bring in more friends while also allowing myself to start a very famous series, I think would be a good idea. So I'd like to play the first Kingdom Hearts sometime this year. Don't really know when, but that will eventually become a thing. So a game that I haven't really decided if I want to live stream or make into a series, I'd like to play kind of at the beginning of this year, is Alien Isolation. I've heard that this game is very scary, and I do own it on PS3, so I'd like to get back into a scary game, and I think it'd be fun to play that. So that's on the list. And I kind of mentioned this earlier in the video, but I want to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so we can, you know, kind of catch up with the newer Tomb Raider games, and I want to also play some more of the older ones. You'll see in my haul, I've picked up some other Tomb Raiders, but I need to finish the original first Tomb Raider, and I have 2 and 3 on PS1. So I enjoyed the Marvel Spider-Man game so much that I would really like to go back and play the original Spider-Man games, I guess, for PS2. So those are on my list to play at some point. Every single year on this channel, I've played a Spyro game. So in 2020, I played Spyro 1, I played Spyro 2 last year. I'd like to play Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon this upcoming year at some point. Now, a game that I really, really wanted to play this past year, but just never got around to it because we were so invested with like Metal Gear Solid stuff, Detroit Become Human. I know absolutely nothing about that game, and I know it was very popular when it came out. Maybe I'll stream it, maybe I'll make it into a series, but I really would like to play that game this year since I didn't get to play it this past year. And then some games that you friends have mentioned that I should play, I have on the list, and hopefully we'll get to them this year, because some of you mentioned them even like, you know, in 2020 that I should play. One of them is The Pathless, haven't forgotten about that one. Alan Wake, Grim Fandango, Little Misfortune. I have written also down here Final Fantasy VII. That's another game that's just really, really long, so I'll have to see, because it might be a little too long to make into a series. I also have Fade to Black here. There were some others that some of you mentioned, and I guess I just forgot to write them down, so feel free to write some more suggestions in this video. We had quite a year. The year 2021, we hit over 500 videos and 600 subscribers, which is amazing. Some other really cool things that we did this year was we started a Discord channel. I started an Instagram, which I haven't really done anything with, but those happened. And then two really, really cool things that we started that I'd like to keep continuing is streaming Saturdays, because those are just really, really fun, and it allows us to play even more games, even when we're in the middle of a different kind of series. And then the other thing is Frustration Fridays.
Frustration!
Which I've kind of been neglecting a little bit, but I really like playing a frustrating game once a week. Which right now, I guess that game is Blasphemous, but I have a list of other games like Dark Souls and some other games that I think would be very fun to play on Frustration Fridays. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and you can become a friend. If you like this video, go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment letting me know suggestions or, you know, what your favorite game was that we played this year. And, all right.